Alrighty, good morning traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. So we're going to get started with our analysis, and let's go over to the euro dollar. And I got asked by John. He said, "Good morning from sunny London. Are you still long the euro?" I am. I've been holding the euro dollar long pretty much since just Tuesday. I started buying it, and I own it at 108.73. It's been the same price I've had it all week. So yesterday we created a little bit of a hammer. Still as a doji. I wish we would have closed at our highs. I think we'd be a lot stronger at the moment. But the euro dollar is trying to make its way higher currently, and we're approaching what I think is going to be pretty key resistance here. And we've been talking about this all week. This is the 109.10 level. But we might actually have to look at a little higher here. This is obviously support comes in at the 108.50, which is the 618. We've pushed slightly below there. We went as low as the 108.25, which will be support today. All right, 108.25, because that's we shouldn't exceed that to the downside now. We may following tomorrow's non-farm payroll, but for today, I doubt we should get below that. But if we have a very, very strong ISM, perhaps we do make our way back down there again. It'll be frustrating if that happens, but it's kind of part of it. And you can see that we have this down sloping channel. That here, let me remove this. This is from the blog, so let me remove that. We have 109.10, but I think more importantly, we'll be right here, which I do not see us exceeding today, just so you know. All right, this is 109.50. Okay, the low here is 109.56, so 109.55. Okay, so there's 1.0910, then 0.0955. Okay, which will be very significant resistance on the way up. Now, like I said, I doubt we are going to. I doubt we're going to exceed this, even on a super weak ISM today. Like if the ISM just comes in and it's just horribly weak, I still don't believe that we're going to take out the resistance here. I really don't. I think it's going to be really even difficult for us to take out the 109.10 level. But we're getting some upside momentum here, and it's trying to build. But that channel resistance is going to be very key, especially going into non-farm payroll. If we have a weak ISM today, now if we have a strong ISM, we're just going to pull right back into this range. But if we have a weak ISM, that might put us back up towards this resistance. This is only going to break following tomorrow's non-farm payroll if it's a weak number. All right. So anyway, a lot of resistance that we're facing. Let me copy paste that right here, and just so you can see the other resistance that we were talking about. This is 109.10. Those are both key levels of resistance for the euro on the way up. Okay. So if you're not already long, you're not long from the last couple of days down in the 60s, 50s, 70s, where I own it. Be careful chasing it up here. I mean, you're about ready to knock your head into some resistance levels. Now, just so everybody knows why, I was getting long here this week. There's your trend line. It's broke, played it to the long side, stopped right there. It was a great short up at 113.80 when it stopped on a dime, came down here, retesting the trend line. This is the place that I typically will take a long, so I did, and that I'm just playing it, as I would normally play it, and it's nothing out of the ordinary here. Okay, let's go to the cable. And by the way, if you guys don't know, this is like the most basic. This is probably my most basic way of trading the markets, is trendline breaks and trendline retests. If you guys don't know that, then it's something that you should get yourself familiar with. I made a trading video Christmas like 3 years ago, people kept asking, "Hey Blake, how do you trade the markets? How do you?" And I made a video, and it's $30. And if you guys are ever, if you ever want to view it or you're interested in it, just email my office. They'll, that we keep it recorded. We charge $30 because we house it on our server, so it just sits there and you can watch it as often as you want. Um, it's not there to make money. That's not why we charge $30 because it's 30 freaking dollars. It's just there for production costs. But yeah, I mean, if you're ever interested on, and you don't know, you know, buy it right here, sell it right there, buy it right here, then watch that video. Okay, let's go over the cable. Like I said, people asked me for years, and I finally did like Christmas. It's like 2.5, 3 years ago. It's called the Trading Strategies webinar. Anyway, all right, so here's the cable. Previous support, current resistance. I sold my cable right here yesterday, basically at 140, almost 140.50. We had a weaker services PMI number overnight that has stalled the pound. I know we exceeded it by a few pips yesterday, and we're still above it. But this low here was at 140.80. This low here was at 140.60, and we were basically knocking our head right up against resistance. I mean, we've been as high as 140.92 yesterday. Today, 140.92. So I know I'm going out on a limb here. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll just put 141 as resistance. Okay, now beyond that, 141. Beyond that, you'll notice that these previous support levels right here are worth noting. Let's go over to the 4-hour chart. Right through here, I would say is probably pretty significant. You got that spike low here, spike low there, resistance right there. We are developing and had developed an inverted head and shoulder pattern, I guess. It's a real sloppy one, but which could take us up here somewhere, eventually. But that's not today. Today we're going to have to push to get up here. Oh wow, the euro's above 109. Go euro, it's your birthday. Go euro, it's your birthday. All right. So anyway, previous support, low 141.70. This one's 141.48. So I'm gonna write down 141.70 is a resistance beyond that. 141.70, just in case we take it out. Because again, with a weak ISM, that could very well do it. Now we're still in a bearish trend, but I'm going to tell you guys, if we can close the day up here, I think that's going to take the downside pressure off. I know we're still in a bearish trend. I hate to go flip it back to neutral right now, but you guys know I've had it on bearish trend for the last couple of weeks. But I've also talked about this week how we've seen a lot of relative strength in the cable. Okay, we've seen a lot of relative strength in the cable this week, and we have. I mean, you think about all the data that was missed this week, and the cable's still sitting up here. It's impressive. So that's very impressive to me. Okay. Anyway, let's go over to the. I don't think I have support yet. Yeah, I don't. Okay, so support. It'll be right down here at 140. I mean, basically, this is where support's going to lie. I mean, anybody who's on the short side of the cable right now, if you're short, because you were thinking, man, all right, man, weak manufacturing PMIs, weak construction PMIs, weak services PMIs, pound still higher. Like if it if you're thinking about, like, if you're on the short side right now and you're going, gosh, damn, this stupid thing, it won't come down. If it just comes down to 140, I'll cover here. I mean, if you think about the attitude of somebody who's on the short side, because they're probably going, oh my God, please just drop down to 140. If it just gets down to 140, I'll cover. So any dip down to 140, I think is going to be, but you're going to find buyers all over the place. Okay. All right, let's go over to the Swissy. Swissy should be challenging some support right now. I haven't looked at the Swissy since yesterday, so yeah, we're actually breaking through support here. I'm long the Euro Swiss right now. I'm up $2.08, 2 pips, 2.8 pips, 2.6 pips. Make that. I don't know if I want to get out of the Euro Swiss yet. But the dollar Swiss is coming under some pressure after rejecting at the 618, really struggling, hitting some support here. Now let's see. Uh-oh. It's a bit of a problem. See that? That is a bit of a problem if you're long the Swissy. That says I'm exposing some moves down to here, frankly. Like your next support is down here. Okay, so now that we know we rejected the 618 here, so there's no mystery. Everybody knows that, right? That's why we stalled. All right, let me get rid of it. Now we can get rid of that. The support was broken. Low to high. 38% retracement comes in at 99 cents. Okay, so resistance is now here at 99.80. Support is 99 cents. Really, big support's going to be at the 50% retracement down here, but I doubt we see that today. 0.9900, resistance 99.80, and we are in a range still. Okay. Dollar yen. So if you guys missed, okay, so I know some of you, actually there's a lot of you that are coming in late right now, so let me read you the comments again. Last night, BOJ's Kuroda said, we'll adjust monetary policy without hesitation if needed. We'll strengthen communication with market participants about negative rate policy. That is what created yesterday evening. That's what created this move right here, which put, a little fire underneath the dollar yen. All right? Everybody should be aware of that. Now the dollar yen has it's really struggling above the 114 level. I have not added to my short dollar yen. I'm still short at 113.76. I'm out of the money 12 pips right now. I've been sitting in it for a couple of days. I am still prepared for a move to 115 if we can get it. I just don't know if we're going to get it. Yesterday, the yen was really strong despite the stock market strength. So now I think the news, the comments from Kuroda, the jockeying, the rhetoric that the BOJ provided last night really boosted up the dollar yen. Pushed up the dollar yen. But all in all, I still think it's trading really heavy. 114.50 is the resistance support. 618, which is going to be the 113 level. I think you have to trade this range, and we're smack dab in the middle of the range right now. So, 114.50, if you can get an opportunity to sell up there, it'd be great. Support's going to be at 113 if you're looking to cover some shorts. Ahead of non-farm payroll, if we get down there, it'd be 113.07, but 113, I'll just call it 113.10. Which will be key support, which is a 618 retracement, then 114.50 will be resistance, and we are still in a bearish trend. While we are below 116, it is a bearish trend. Keep in mind. There's your monthly chart. Here's your weekly chart. It's your head, shoulder, shoulder. We're still, in breakdown territory. Maybe choppy the last couple of weeks, but we're still in breakdown territory. Okay. Okay. All right. Canadian. All right. So I'm pretty unexcited about the Canadian right now. On Monday, shorted it, or Tuesday, shorted at 135, or 134.80, covered it at 134.10, and that was it. I haven't touched the Canadian since then. We're holding the 133.85 level, which that 133.85 was the little push below 134, just to trip stops on, the day that I got out of the short was right here. I got out early. It pushed through that 134, just tripped some stops. Notice that we're struggling at 135, which we marked down yesterday, right? Yesterday we wrote down resistance at 135. We basically hit 135 and pushed right back down again. So 133.85, 135 is resistance. That's it. It's bearish. I would be careful selling down here at this 134 level. I'd be more excited about shorting the 135 if I could get it. But obviously we're not close to that right now. So I don't know if there's a whole lot to do with the Canadian right here. Again, selling it up here makes sense. Selling it down here doesn't make so much sense. What is this? What is this I see? Let's remove that for a minute. One of the other things here you might pay attention to. Right? We might be forming a nice little bearish wedge here, just, waiting for a breakdown. So, that's just something else. If you guys are trading the Canadian, we break through these lows and it might expose, that move. Finally, we get that move to 132, which I'm looking for. I'm eventually looking for a move to 132. Okay. Where are we at? Trying to think anything else I need to note about the Canadian. Nope, not really. Okay, Kiwi. Wow, this euro is strong. Hold on really quick. Euro's pushing right up into resistance, guys. Kiwi's new highs. Aussie new highs. Euro's pushing right into resistance here. If you guys want to take some of the euro longs off the table, it's probably not a bad place. Take a little profit, Like I said, I don't think we're going to get above here, but man, there's some pretty good momentum going on right at this very moment in time. And look at the euro. Let's push higher. How many of you guys have been long the euro today, or for the last couple of days? Anybody long the euro with me? Am I alone? Okay. Let's see. Gustavo is. Amanda is. Wow, a lot of you guys are. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow, a lot. Holy crap. I'm counting probably like 50 or 60 of you guys. Okay. Good. KH closed it yesterday, unfortunately. David M says you're alone because I missed it like a clown. You know what? Don't beat yourself up. I mean, hell, I only blogged about it. Just kidding. uh, uh, No, there's a lot of people that are along, so that's good. Glad you guys are glad you guys are on the long side. Just be careful here. I mean, if you want to take profits, this is not a bad place to take profits. I personally am looking for higher levels in the euro. I told you guys my master plan with the euro, right? You guys all, yeah, I mean, do you guys remember the master plan from this week? From like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or tu Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I guess today I'll tell you. Okay, I'm looking for us to bottom around here because I think the ECB and like we already know what the ECB is going to do. We don't know specifically what the ECB is going to do, but we know the ECB is going to increase asset purchases. They're going to increase duration. They're going to do something. We know that. Mario Draghi even said on Monday, he said that we're going to start our meeting on March 10th with the backdrop of extremely weak economic data. That's telling you right now the ECB is more than likely going to move. Everybody knows it. Everybody. It's been telegraphed for the last couple of weeks. So now that everybody knows, you notice how the euro is now firming because everybody's like, well, shoot, how about if they don't? See, my 2 cents are that we're probably going to rally ahead of the ECB, up towards 110. And then once the ECB moves, like if they're really aggressive, then that could push us back down to 108, where we're at right now, 108, 109. And how about if the ECB doesn't? How about if they say, well, after reviewing monetary policy, we decided to keep, everything pretty much the same. Now we will revisit that on the next ECB meeting, but how about if that happens? Well, shit, the euro dollar will be trading at 112. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, yeah. Criso says that's a good question. That's a good comment. How about if it reacts like the yen? Yeah, I hadn't even considered that, Chrysos. How about if that happens? Yeah, how about if the ECB goes, yeah, we're going to increase asset purchases, and we are now extended the duration of quantitative easing. We are buying only gold Pokemon cards, because they ran out of assets to buy. And the market it pulls a BOJ. It says and the euro just screams higher following the ECB. Yeah, what if? That'd be crazy. Yeah. I'm joking about the Pokemon cards, and the only reason why I know Pokemon is just because I got 2 boys, young boys. Thank God they're not buying Pokemon cards anymore. Do you know, I think as a parent, I think that is the biggest waste of money. If you want to talk about like cringeworthy stuff, is when we go to like Target or the store, and the kids are like, I want to buy Pokemon cards. I'm like, you're going to spend $20 on cardboard. They're not even baseball cards. At least baseball cards is like it's they're real people. So we would be at the store, and the kids would be like, I want to buy Pokemon cards, and I would just literally want to like start ripping up my money in my pocket and just setting it on fire. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. At my house, I've probably spent $500 to $1,000 on Pokemon cards. It's stupid, but it's not just me. I mean, they ask it for Christmas and birthdays and stuff. They did. Thank God they're past that stage. Whew. Anyway, it's that time. Okay, when I come back, we got to do the Kiwi, the Aussie, the dollar, and don't worry, guys, we got plenty of time before weekly unemployment claims. I'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. Let's finish up this analysis. Let's go to the Kiwi. Kiwi is just hitting highs in the day. Now, the Kiwi, the damn thing's been so choppy. I'm going to delete everything for a second. All right. and I'm going to redraw a few things. Okay, so let's remove lines for everything. Okay, so this is the daily Kiwi, right? Let's go over to the weekly chart, and let's revisit this down trend line right here. Okay, I'm gonna do it like that. Okay, all right. So there's your weekly downtrend line for the most part. All right, let's go over to the daily chart. Now, the daily chart, we have this other downtrend line here, right? And we had this false breakout, reversal. Now we're pushing back up again. We never broke this support, which was 65.50, which you guys have heard me all week talk about how the importance of that. Well, I think just as equally important is going to be the six. I just said 60. Hey, it's early in the morning, you know. What else do you think about it this time in the morning? Here's the resistance at 67.50. And then we have support at 66.50. So you got 67.50, 66. See, there I go again. 65.50, 67.50. Holy cow! And let's just keep those uh, numbers front and center. Okay. Yeah, I know we can mark all the way up here to to the resistance, but I'm more concerned with just these near term levels. All right. Now here's the other thing I want to state about the Kiwi. I may be short the Kiwi dollar, long the Aussie New Zealand, short some New Zealand yen, um, but I'll tell you, with the Aussie dollar surging higher, I don't want to ignore the fact that it could drag the Aussie or the Kiwi up with it. All right. I think if you want to play the Kiwi to the short side, you just play cross rates versus actually shorting the Kiwi outright here with the dollar. Unless once we get past the ISM or actually non-farm payroll, if it's a weak non-farm payroll, then that'll probably free up to get long some Kiwi dollar. But be careful, ahead of Friday. 67.50, 65.50, 67.50 is going to be resistance that we have to deal with today. 67.50. Let's go figure out where support is. Go to here's the 4-hour chart. There's your hourly. I think support here for today is going to be right through here, basically. I mean, I'm going to write down this hourly low, but you can see that spike up there. We basically broke it, tested it, and then took off. So that hourly low should be good support today, which will be 66.50. Okay. All right. It's in a range. It's choppy as all get out here in the Kiwi. All right, let's go over to the Aussie. Yes, Irfan, I'm still long the euro. You just joined the webinar. Yes, still long the euro. Although you might have missed my comments that if you want to take profits here at the 109.10 level, probably not a bad place to take profits if that's your cup of tea. All right, here's the Aussie. Aussie is right up at the 161% extension. Also major resistance here at 73.50. If you guys want to short the Aussie, probably not a bad place to short it, right? If you think about it, this is channel resistance of the last 6 months. So I'm not going to short the Aussie dollar, but if you want to short it, you can probably short it here with a tight 20 pip stop. If those of you that are looking to do something ahead of the weekly unemployment claims, weekly unemployment claims, that's not something that I'd want to do, but if you want to do it. We're in a range, but we're threatening to turn bullish. Break out of here. You know, we got a couple resistance levels to clear out. You know, this, what's the high here? 73.84. So I'll write that down, by the way. Here, I'm going to put that 0.7385. Oops, not 65, 85, just in case we break. Because that's going to be that resistance right there. Okay. All right. Now, anybody who's short the Aussie is probably crapping their pants, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm short this thing." And if we just drop back down to 72.50, I will get out of everything, and I will tell God that I'll never do that again. Anybody who shorts probably, you know, really, really nervous right now. 72.50 is strong support. Any dip down to 72.50 will be, you know, buyers are going to come in. Dollar. Let's go take a look at the dollar index. Okay, so the dollar's coming under a little bit of pressure today, ahead of the weekly unemployment claims. That support right here, 97.80 is going to be probably pretty key. This is a channel, remember. Looks something like this. Right, so 97.80 is going to be pretty important support. Oops. Okay, resistance, so 4 hours. So let's get over to the hourly. Resistance, there's that big dotted line, but it's also very important up here. 98.35. Oops. Is resistance. Let's go over to the peso. Peso's trying to be supported down here. It's going to have more to do with risk aversion and risk appetite, I think. But remember, support here would be the 618 of this move, right? See it? I'll just put it right here. So your 618 of this move is you know, basically supporting prices. So I'm going to write 1780 and 18. Put it in a range. All right, let's go over to the Nordic currencies. Here's the Norwegian krona. We're right on support here. Actually, we should note that because if crude oil continues to rally, or the dollar comes under pressure and we break this, that's going to be pretty important, I think, for the Norwegian krona, because we'll probably go back and retest these lows here. So that's at 863. Okay. Keep an eye on it. 862 maybe. I'll just write 862 just to give it a little bit of room. 8.62. That's pretty important support, in my opinion, because if you take this, right, you have a nice little channel. All right. The upper end of that channel is, remember, this trend line here. This one right here. Okay, it comes through. It's basically that's what it is. So we're on channel support. So if we break that channel support, it exposes some downside. Think about that if the dollar starts to weaken. All right, resistance is still way the hell up here at like 875, but I don't think we're going up there today. I'll just write it down, 8.75. We're just more at risk at breaking through that support today. That's why you should pay attention to it. All right, Swedish krona. Yeah, thank God I didn't chase that thing higher the other day. You know, I was thinking even after the strong U.S. data, I'm like, I don't know if I want to chase that higher, and it just, just kind of, all right, I'm gonna leave that alone. I don't know if there's not a whole lot to do here with this U.S. dollar Swedish krona at the moment. Okay, so here is your bias chart. Go ahead and write that information down. We have about 20 minutes until the weekly unemployment claims come. Let's answer some of your questions this morning. I answered some of them from earlier.